What's up, guys? It's Coyote here, and welcome back to another video. If I'm being honest, I don't really have an intro. So, anyway, today we're going to be beating Pikmin 3 Deluxe without moving. First and foremost, if you've seen the channel before, you most likely know that I started this challenge in a previous video, link in the description, but honestly, who reads the description? It'll probably just be in your recommended. Anyway, point is, we went up until I beat the Mirror Slug last time, so today we'll be starting with the Twilight River, or as I like to call it, everyone's favorite area. There's a little bit of sarcasm for you. But without any further ado, okay, alright, let's just, you know what? I'm gonna start. So first step to beating the game is landing in the Twilight River, and Alf's legs twitch in unison for several seconds and teleport him over to the onion. Even though that was completely involuntary, I'll just restart the day so no one thinks I'm cheating. Speaking of cheating, I'm gonna post an entire day of this challenge with no edits in the description if you want to watch it and make sure I didn't cheat. And I promise there's no purposeful cheating, but like, yeah, go ahead and call me out in the comments section if you see some sketchy stuff going on. Anyway, starting over, we've got to get under the onion, and this wasn't something I showed in the beginning, but it can actually be a bit of a challenge to line yourself up and actually be able to draw Pikmin from out of the onion. Once that is done, however, I happily dodge whistle my way around, ignoring the flint beetles. I happily dodge whistle my way around, ignoring the flint beep. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna leave the failure in. I happily dodge whistle my way around, ignoring the flint beetle, all the way to these dwarf bulborbs, and oh my gosh, I cheated. If you slow this video down to 1 frame per second, you can actually see I'm moving to the right for a whole 7 frames of animation. I am such a criminal. Anyway, let's move on to the next roadblock, the lily pads. You have to hold forward to get on a lily pad, and seeing as how Alf's legs don't twitch on command and just randomly jump on a lily pad, we're gonna have to try some other options. Obviously, dodge whistle doesn't work, and it actually goes horribly, so I've got a better idea, and I don't know why I said horribly like that. We just throw our captains over onto the lily pad and give them Pikmin to accompany them on their journey. Then we do the same thing to get off the lily pad. Once that's done, we can go here to the other side of the river, and the rest of the squad will automatically follow. I made the unfortunate mistake of canceling the go here on the lily pad, and you can't get off, so you have to wait until it kicks you off at the end of the river. Not a huge inconvenience, but it's worth mentioning. Other than the lily pad debacle, building the bridge to the winged Pikmin onion is quite simple. We turn on the big light in the cave, and a yellow Pikmin makes friends with a water dumple, and then we grab the pieces from up top. And now I'm gonna get some lunch. Lunch break over now. That was a real thing, by the way. I had to get some lunch while I was writing the script. So, lunch. Yay. Speaking of lunch, I usually have a tie-in for these things, but I mean, I'm talking about building a bridge right now. So, the other pieces are easy to get because we just walk around the wallywogs. Metaphorically walk, of course. After that, we can cross the bridge over to the winged onion. Freeing it, we now have access to winged Pikmin, and I build up their numbers sufficiently via the charge function until we received a transmission from an unnamed avocado. He's stuck in a tree, so it's time to cross the river with our brand new stream of lily pads. No, never mind. It's time for the blowhog to activate a bomb with a gust of air, as usually happens when a bomb is detonated. That's all we have time for today, so it's day 8, and it's raining! Amazing! A reminder that when the majority of Pikmin touch water, they do die, so I guess today we've had Alf invest in 100 mini raincoats. Anyway, getting all these pieces for the second bridge is fairly simple. The first deck you can just charge your Pikmin at from the water, the second set you can charge your Pikmin at from the water, and the third set mixes it up. You can charge your Pikmin at it from the land. So, there we go. That's game design if I have ever seen it. With the bridge built, it's time for us to take on a boss. But here's a more challenging bit, getting up to the boss. We've got to throw Alf through some loading zones to start and then continue on with the old go here method. It's not fun or exciting, but we manage. Now it's time for the Scornet Maestro, and the fight takes less time than the walk. 2 knockdowns and the big bug is down for the count. After we cover Louie, there's not much else to do in this area, so day 8's over. Day 9, and what do you know? Louie runs away with an explosive, and as we know, rubber ducks do trigger those explosives, and so he winds up removing a wall. Keep rubber ducks away from explosives. The cutscene doesn't end, and I don't start cheating, and I don't have to restart the day. I am so good at remembering what the challenge is when I pick up the controller. There's really not a whole lot to do in this area, so I rescue the blue Pikmin. If I'm being honest, blue Pikmin are kind of useless. Once they're free, you just need to have them take these pieces over here and build the teacup, and other than that, they are literally useless. And I know I'm going to be skipping big sections of gameplay right here, so this will be the day that I'm posting in full. So just watch out for that in the description, in your feed, wherever, if you want to watch that. Moving onward, I build up my blue Pikmin with one of my captains, rather pathetically, might I add, and then I take my wings and head over to the big crab lobster thing. This guy's not too difficult with wings, since you can just charge once and they'll literally do all the work for you. After he's dead, we'll just find the first set of teacup pieces right behind him, which winged Pikmin can just take and happily place down. And despite not being necessary, I decided to start building this bridge down here. I'm not even sure if oh my gosh. I'm not even sure if I wind up finishing it, but I thought I'd mention that this bridge is entirely avoidable and you actually don't need to build a single bridge on this day. Example, any of my speedruns of this game. So that's interesting and all, but after the absolutely satisfying drop of the Chromad, I decided to get some spicy spray. I don't usually mention this phase, and that's because I always wind up never using spicy spray, but today is the day where I repent for all my wasteful spicy spray usage, because we actually use it. Get back to that in a bit though, because today is a leisurely day. I actually can't believe how chill I'm playing here. I mean, you can see that I've waited for my Pikmin to dig up this blue pellet and actually carry it back. I am growing as a human being. Anyway, let's get back to rushing through things as we ruin a school of fish and a totally helpless sea creature. A kid's game at its finest. Thanks Nintendo for the family-friendly content I always knew I could count on. Speaking of which, if you're watching this video, that means you like Pikmin, or maybe, just maybe, you like my videos. And if you do, try out watching some of the others, especially the non-Pikmin stuff. That's got some gold in it, and I feel like it's super underappreciated, so do me a favor and just check out one of my videos. In other words, give me attention. Regardless if you plan to do that or not, I commission my Pikmin to finish the teacup, and that's exactly what they do, with a little motivation from a certain blue arrow. So now we can reach the other side of the world, and there is a crab there, and I have something against that species, so it's gone now, and I leave some Pikmin outside to build the bridge. I'm low on time here, so I have to have a few Pikmin dig the hole with pieces in it, rather than overviewing the whole process. Hopefully you understood that. But, as I said before, this bridge is not required. And with that, you know what time it is, or maybe you don't, so let me tell you, Quaggled Mireclops boss fight. Oh yeah, and this gets surprisingly interesting for a fight where one of the opponents is standing still and doing nothing. As a general rule of thumb, I go for the left foot here, every time. We're too slow to get him on his right foot, so the left one is our best bet. You might see that I'm using all winged Pikmin, and that's because they're incredibly hard to crush. Once he's knocked down, we can stand at the base and break the crystal that was once surrounding his head. We'll repeat the process once more, and I think you'll see what I'm getting at. This man charges all of the Pikmin off his foot and onto the ground and doesn't kill a single one. I've honestly never seen Pikmin get so lucky before. We knock him down again, and there's another reason I went for winged Pikmin. They can fly! It may come as a no-brainer, but normal ground Pikmin have trouble latching on to the Mireclops' head, whereas winged Pikmin have no issue whatsoever. He gets up and knocked down once more, and here we go. I have used Ultra Spicy Spray, and my gosh, this thing just shreds! I didn't realize how amazing Spicy Spray is. In seconds, he's down to the fraction of his health. He's no problem from then on out, and we've officially won the battle. I literally killed no Pikmin here. That is really cool. But with Louie recovered and the bridge back to base built by my out-of-squad Pikmin, that's the end of the day. But wait! The countdown starts, and will my 59 out-of-bounds Pikmin make it alive? The world may never know, unless you watch the full day. But now, my friends, it is day 10 and time for the Formidable Oak. This is a really interesting area because the Plasma Wraith is going to be chasing us throughout, and obviously, we can't move, so I play this a lot more like a speed run than a challenge run here. But whoa, we're getting ahead of ourselves because it's a challenge within itself to get up to the top of the oak. As soon as we come through this loading zone, we can no longer use go here, and because the camera is fixed, we also have a bit of trouble dodge whistling. So we solve our issue like any other and painstakingly throw our captains up and forward on the oak until we manage to reach the top. From there, we can go here down into the hollow and Olimar is eaten. I don't know, I guess Olimar is edible. That's cool. We save Olimar momentarily, and I get some rock Pikmin for the carrying, although I don't know why I mentioned that, because it doesn't matter. We make our way inside the oak, and although it's infinitely more fun to dodge whistle against this wall, I opt to go here to Brittany's position instead. Fast forward a little bit, and we come across the bag of cheating. I say this because you might have heard, this bag is glitched. We charge our winged Pikmin at it from the wrong side, and they just fly up over the top and push it right down on top of us. This of course gives us a new path and makes it so we don't have to go into any fights with the Bulborbs down the other path. We then absolutely destroy the Samp Rat, and it's time we start building the bridge. The first set of pieces is easy since it's right next to the bridge itself, but the second set is where we start to have some trouble. Since the Plasm Wraith is constantly chasing us and we're not particularly speedy, we wind up losing Olimar. Luckily though, I am a brilliant tactician and rescue Olimar, taking the extra regen time the Wraith needs to dig the hole and finish the bridge. We get into a debacle once again, but per usual, we quickly take out the Plasma Wraith and Olimar is saved. And this of course allows us to escape to the other side of the cave. I have Elf take our wings over this lake to get the first set of pieces, and then the Plasma Wraith shows up and ruins the party. You get 2 seconds to guess what happens. Never mind, you don't. I rescue Olimar. Let's go. Then after that, I go ahead and put Olimar in the small lake for safekeeping. The Plasma Wraith can't go in water, so he's safe here. Then I have the Blues finish off the bridge, and it's up to Alf and Charlie to continue clearing the path. The Wraith tries as hard as he can to eat us, but he doesn't actually have teeth. And there is a mosquito! The Wraith tries as hard as he can to eat us, but he actually doesn't have teeth. There's a dental tip for you. You cannot eat Pikmin without teeth. Maybe that is untrue, but I can say that you need a throat to eat stuff, and that is something the Plasma Wraith is severely lacking in. Moving right along the other side of the bridge grants us some light up pathways. Comment about light up pathways if you made it this far. I know who you are, people that ditch without watching the full video. After the light is sufficiently brightened, we can cross yet another path and make for the exit, which of course means it's time for the final boss. And may I just say, this fight is brutal. We actually haven't lost many Pikmin so far in the run, oddly enough, but those numbers are about to go through the roof. And if I'm being honest, 90% of the Pikmin that died in this battle were because I was so hesitant to move my cursor around and risk accidentally moving. You wind up seeing that I move tiny bits quite a few times during this fight, and while I don't think that it's a big of an impact in the long run, it was very difficult to whistle Pikmin and stop. Get away from me, mosquito! I'm going to kill you! It was very difficult to whistle Pikmin and stop them from getting burned or drowned because I was just so scared that— oh my god, he's back! Got him. It was very difficult to whistle Pikmin and stop them from getting burned or drowned because I was just so scared that I would wind up moving, and I'll add, for good reason. This is definitely a very interesting fight, so I'll let you guys watch here for a little bit. But the fight is very short, just like my fight with that dumb mosquito. The Ultra Spicy Spray pays off and we wind up beating the game. So there we go! Pikmin 3 Deluxe has been beaten without moving. Sorta, kinda, maybe. A few quick things before we leave. Do you want early access to my videos? Because if you join my Discord server, I think I'm going to start choosing random videos to release there first. Meaning, all the people in my Discord could get to watch a video hours early or maybe even days. Who knows? I also added text channels to my Discord server so you guys can come talk to me and other fans, submit your art and DMs, that sort of stuff. But yeah. We're having some fun on that server, so make sure you drop in and give it a whirl. That's honestly all I have to say right now. As always, leave your suggestions in the comments down below, and add AA batteries to your comment about the lights earlier. Doing a quick survey to see how far people watch, although I promise this won't be on every video. But that is all for now, so I thank you all so much for watching. I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Except for the mosquito. I'm good if you never watch another video of my guy.